I received an email with these images attached. Some sort of plastic melted in the bottom of an oven and all over an oven rack. The plastic actually got hot enough to become molten. It poured into the bottom of the oven and coated the wires on the rack. Fortunately, it was the bottom rack, so the upper two were unscathed. The sender wanted to know if I could remove the plastic and save the oven. And while I had heard of things like this happening before, I had never actually seen anything like it, but I was up for the challenge. As with cleaning anything, the first step is to always remove as much of the solid material as you can before you use any cleaning products. That goes for cleaning melted plastic from the bottom of an oven as much as it does for cleaning carpet or tile and grout. My hope here was that all of the plastic would peel up and I wouldn't have to do anything else, but I knew that was a long shot. Whatever this plastic was, a cutting board, plate, platter, Tupperware, and the client had no idea, by the way. It was rigid, and presumably from being melted in the oven, it was also extremely brittle. I was able to just break it off the rack without having to do anything else to it. The bottom of the oven was another story. I was able to scrape most of the plastic off without damaging the enamel, but it didn't all come off. I think while the plastic was still molten, someone sprayed it with a chemical cleaner because the plastic in the bottom of the oven felt different than the plastic on the rack. It was almost waxy, and it didn't break the way the rack plastic broke. It stuck to the enamel the way you would expect candle wax to. I removed as much of it as I could, but there was still plastic stuck to the enamel in the bottom of the oven. Much of the internet's advice for removing melted plastic from inside an oven was to reheat it. A viable option, to be sure, but I didn't think it was the right choice for this job. As I said before, the plastic on the bottom of the oven was waxy, and I thought reheating it would only make a mess without making it easier to remove. So I knew I would need an oil-based cleaner, a solvent. There are lots of solvents out there that could do the job, but I chose mineral spirits because it's readily available, relatively safe, and non-volatile. Non-volatile means that it won't evaporate very quickly. The longer it takes the solvent to evaporate, the longer it can stay in contact with the plastic, and the better chance it has to dissolve it. I applied mineral spirits to the plastic and let it dwell. This oven was electric, so I didn't have to shut off the gas or worry about the pilot light. Using mineral spirits in a natural gas or propane oven would be incredibly stupid. So don't do it. You're gonna end up blowing yourself up, so just call a professional. The mineral spirits did a great job dissolving the plastic, so the next step was to rinse the mineral spirits with the plastic dissolved in it. Like cleans like, so I couldn't rinse the oven with water and expect anything to happen. I needed to use a volatile solvent. Volatile solvents evaporate quickly, so they can be used to rinse non-volatile solvents like mineral spirits. I used acetone to rinse the mineral spirits and the plastic dissolved in it. I thought about using just acetone instead of mineral spirits, but the plastic was still sort of thick in places and it needed time for the solvent to work. I also thought the acetone would evaporate too quickly, and acetone can damage a lot of surfaces, so I opted to use it only to rinse the mineral spirits in the dissolved plastic. Once all of the plastic was removed from the bottom of the oven and the door, I went ahead and cleaned the oven with oven cleaner. That wasn't for the plastic, but because I was already in there cleaning, I thought I might as well leave the client with a fully clean oven. And that's all there is to it. I definitely wouldn't want to make this a regular service, but now that I've done it, I wouldn't shy away from doing it again. But remember, don't do anything that you saw in this video. Call a professional. And thanks for watching.